Okay, before we start, I want to apologize right now that I know you'll be watching this video on Saturday, or you might watch it on Sunday, or Monday, or whenever you do watch it, but you won't be watching it on Friday because technically this is the Saturday video, even though it's about 10:30 on Friday night. And the reason I'm doing this is because I actually got to watch SmackDown live tonight. So I'm going to do this recap tonight, get it out tomorrow, as in Saturday, and get that out before I head to work because I have a 11:30 staff meeting, and I get off at 6 or 5:30 if I don't have to take a break, and then I just kind of want to relax tomorrow night. So because of that factor, you're getting this video right now. Now, I also said it may not be in my best interest to really say anything on this day, and I'm probably going to stick to that, but technically I'm not, because this video will not reach you guys until at least Saturday morning. So early Saturday morning. This will probably take like 4 hours to upload. Oh, by the way, that's one thing that's got me really peeved about switching over to iOS 7. Now, granted, with the tablet, I actually know how the Android system works. iOS 7 is basically just a thinly veiled attempt at Android, and there's not really an attempt, it's Android. Everything works the same way as Android does. Now, the thing about this is, when I switched over to iOS 7, I was no longer able to upload the videos directly from this iPhone 5. So, what I have to do now is I have to shoot on the iPhone. And when I shoot on the iPhone, I have to plug in the cord to my desktop, or when I go home, my laptop, and then I upload the video to the computer, and then I take it from the computer and put it on YouTube from there. This is a pain, an extreme pain, and it takes 5 to 7 hours. And that's just a small video to get this uploaded. As a matter of fact, right now, let me look at it here. Yeah, I was waiting for that to happen too. I am staring at my YouTube page, and I am uploading AJ's movie review that we shot earlier today. Now, I've been uploading this video for about 7.5 hours now. Yes, it's taken that long. The video is a little bit over an hour, but it's taken about 7.5 hours to upload this directly from the computer through YouTube. Now, the Capture app sucks because you cannot use it for long-form videos. I can't upload from the iPhone anymore, direct videos, because it clips everything. So I pretty much have no alternative but to do it this way from now on. So the days of getting everything up lickety-split, sadly, they're over. I can, however, upload directly from my iPod, so I can upload directly to YouTube, and I don't have a problem with that. Now, I see that there is an iOS upgrade, iOS 6 point something upgrade for an iPod, and I'm scared to death to even think about using it, because if that happens, and I do that, then I will lose my ability to upload directly from a device. Now, I can still upload from my tablet, and the tablet's fine, but as I found out the hard way today, the tablet only uploads 33 minutes of footage. So you're going to have another jumbled, shoddily edited together video for the Versus this week. Sadly, I was like to have been able to get it all in one video. Unfortunately, it cut off at the end, so we're going to have to upload them separately, but you guys won't see that. You'll see the finished product. Be a little easy on me, guys. Obviously, you didn't know I don't edit. This is the closest thing you're ever going to get to editing. I mean, the annotations I used to do in Versus back in the day, I mean, come on. I mean, I got to do what I got to do with what I've got. So that's what I've got to deal with. I got to deal with these 7-hour-long times to upload everything. And I guess hashtag YouTube problems. So I guess that's pretty much how it's going to work from now on. So we got AJ's movie reviews shot. And right now, I'm literally watching it process, and it's been like 7.5 hours, like I said. This video was shot early this afternoon. I mean, this thing actually got out, I believe, a little bit after 1 o'clock. Something like that, actually. Or maybe a little bit after 1 o'clock, maybe 1:30, 1:45, something like that. In the 1 o'clock time frame. And it's taken till 10:30 to upload this. Now, granted, what I had to do after this, we had to shoot the verses, and then I started uploading. So I should have started uploading right away, but unfortunately I had a problem with that. But luckily it fixed itself right quickly, so we're good to go. So it's taken 7.5 hours to upload, and it's driving me insane as I'm trying to process it right now. Incidentally, if you were curious, the video, if you can check it out on the AJ's Movie Reviews playlist or on the Recent Videos playlist, we are talking about the Best Man Holiday. We are talking about the new Friedberg and Seltzer Bomb, the Starving Games, and we're talking about the one of the best movies of the year that you probably have never even heard of, and that's Mr. Nobody. And I actually will be watching that next week, and Mom goes back to Shawn Michaels' country. She's going to San Antonio for a while. So I will be left alone for Thanksgiving. Yay. So I guess this is how it works, guys. It's just how it is. But we've got this taken care of. We've got a brand new Versus coming on tomorrow, as in Sunday. So, yeah, that's going to be really good. You're going to enjoy that. It'll be a really good one. Cryptic comment is Sickness. And we're going to end our scary-themed Versus for the year with Scott is actually your cryptic comment for the final Versus of the scary-themed Versus, which will be next Sunday. And we're going to roll into December and January are going to be Oscar-themed Versus. We're going to do a lot of Oscar-themed Versus in those 2 months. And then in February, we're going to do Love-themed Versus. And then we're not going to have any themes that I'm aware of until October when we go back to Scary-themed Versus for a month in October. So there's a lot of things coming down the pike, but I can't talk about them yet because I don't know exactly what order they're going to go in. And I don't want to throw something out to you guys and say, it's going to be this week, it's going to be this week, and I'd be wrong. So we're going to let you know as soon as I find out specifically what the first Versus for December is going to be. Actually, I have a list right now, and I actually made this list today because I got bored. And the Versus for December are going to be December 1st, December 8th, December 15th, December 22nd, and December 29th. And these are all be 5 Oscar-themed Versus, and of course we've got 4 Oscar-themed Versus, January 5th, 12th, 19th, and 26th. So that's going to be coming down the pike as well. Now, longtime viewers ask me every once in a while, they're like, Owen, where's the Halloween Horror Nights 24 video? You have some speculation to do? And I'm like, yeah, of course I have some speculation to do, but it's not quite ready yet. So I will be throwing that out very soon, and there's a video, actually, I forgot that I had. Ben, actually, he has a band. He has a band called the Real Muppet Dinosaurs. And I feel like Jake Roberts and Beyond the Mat. What's this stuff right here? Anyway, sorry, just had to do that. So yeah, they have a band called Real Muppet Dinosaurs, and it's Ben and Steven who went with us to Smackdown, and they actually, they got an EP coming out very soon, and Pop's going to be your headquarters for Real Muppet Dinosaur information, and it's weird that I'm throwing this out in the NXT and Smackdown video, but that's just how it works sometimes. I just throw random stuff on these videos. As you guys should know by now, the first like 10-15 minutes of a video normally are just me just talking about what's going on right now. So yeah, I got a video from Ben from Real Muppet Dinosaurs, like putting the band over, talking about the band a little bit. I'll put that up very soon. Ben and Will hopefully be returning to the channel very soon, and we should get our first official Molly video in the very near future. So, we've got a lot of things planned for this week. A lot of things planned for the rest of the year, to be totally honest, but I'll talk about that later on. The reason why you guys are here is talking about NXT and Smackdown for this week. Oh, by the way, if you are wondering where the Impact recap is, I am actually going to put that out on Monday. So, yeah, get that ready to go on Monday, and here's the reason why. We've got today, as in Friday today, is AJ's movie reviews. And I know it's not until after 10:30 it comes out, but it's AJ's movie reviews. Saturday is NXT and Smackdown, which I'm shooting right now. And Sunday, of course, is the brand new Versus. So what's Monday? Monday is going to be Impact, and Tuesday will be Raw. So I need videos for Wednesday and Thursday, and we'll be good to go. Thursday night, unfortunately, I have to work the opening night of the Hunger Games Catching Fire. I'm not looking forward to that for a lot of reasons. And that means that your Impact recap is going to be even later. And we're going to have to be watching catching fire in Delivery Man first thing on Friday morning. So we'll talk about that later. Now, excuse me, my nose always itches when I get on camera. It looks really random. So let's talk about NXT this week, shall we? And they were kind of there. We start the show off with a Divas tag team match. It's Bayley and Charlotte taking on the beautiful, fierce females, Summer Rae and Sasha Banks, or I'd like to refer to them, Summer Banks. So this starts off immediately with Bayley deciding to throw out a peace offering to give these like cutesy pink headbands to Summer and Sasha, and they pretty much just toss them on the ground. So this match starts off with Charlotte, and Charlotte starting off with Summer Rae. So 3 big forearms and a charging splash, Firewoman's carry on Summer, and Summer ends up clotheslining Bayley 1 count only. So yeah, she starts off with Charlotte, then Charlotte tagged out to Bayley. Bayley starts the show off, so there you go. Tagging to Sasha, locks a chin lock on Bayley. Bayley elbows her way out, tagging to Summer Rae. So Summer comes in, makes a cover 1 count only, locks in and legs Nelson on Bayley. Bayley bridges back, puts her shoulders to the canvas, 1 count only. Puts more pressure on Bayley, rolls her up into a pinning predicament of her own, only a 1 count again, tagging to Sasha. Sasha comes in, and she gets a scoop slam, float over, roll up, 1-2, and Sasha kicks out. So Bayley gets sent face first into the canvas on 2 separate occasions, tagging to Summer Rae. So the BFFs have cut off the ring at this point. She does the foot choke in the corner, tag back into Sasha, and she locks in a chin lock. She gets on the back, and Bayley slams her into the turnbuckle. Belly to Bayley, and tag in. That's what she's trying to do. She's trying to tag in her partner, and Charlotte just slaps her right across the face, drops her like a sack of potatoes. She hits her 1-arm somersault neck snap, lays out Bayley completely. Sasha makes the cover, 1, 2, 3, and Charlotte officially is, I don't know if she's completely with the BFFs, or if she's just not wants to be around Bayley anymore. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that, yeah, Charlotte is now a member of the BFFs. So, we got our Mean Girls stable. And for those of you that are playing along at home, and I'm sure you are, we now have our Madison Rayne of the group. But I would take Madison Rayne in a heartbeat in more ways than one over Charlotte. I don't like Charlotte in the ring. I think she's athletic. I think she's fine where she is. I don't like there's something about her I don't like. She's too athletic. She doesn't really, I know that sounds weird to say, but she does not look fluid. She does not look like she really belongs in a wrestling ring. I don't like Charlotte, and this is kind of a step down for the BFFs. I'm not a big Sasha Banks fan either. I just love Summer Rae, but you guys know that. So what this is doing, this is building towards a 6 diva tag match with the BFFs against Paige, Emma, and Bayley somewhere down the line. I'm pretty sure that's going to happen sooner rather than later. Speaking of Emma, I know this is done out of context since this is later on in the show. We only have a 43-minute show according to Hulu, so there you go. Emma is basically doing like a State of the Emma address. She's basically talking about WWE stands for World Wrestling Entertainment, and all about the Emma-lution, and all her Emmacrats need to be along for the ride as basically putting Emma over, which is awesome because Emma's amazing. And yeah, this is going to lead to Emma and Paige, of course, somewhere down the line for the Divas Championship. Our next match actually is set up by a little promo, not really a promo, but like a vignette, if you will, of the artiste, Aiden English, basically doing like warm-up exercises, his like vocal warm-ups. I know because I used to do that before in choir. So yeah, he's going to be going one-on-one against Camacho, and that's not the last time you hear from Camacho on this very video. He's actually on Smackdown this week. So Aiden serenades the crowd, and of course they're eating it up. And once again, NXT is the home of heels that are baby faces in one place only. If you go outside of Full Sail, I would say that Aiden English and Tyler Breeze, even though they're hardcore baby faces to that crowd, because they know them so well, I'm pretty sure they'd be played up as the heels. even though they're played off as baby faces for NXT when it's at Full Sail, I would guess if you did house shows and everything like that, I would say that they'd probably be played off as heels. So that's pretty much what they are. And I don't know if the crowd would boo CJ Parker as much as they did back weeks ago. So Camacho takes on the artiste, Aiden English, and of course after Aiden serenades the crowd, Camacho with a scoop slam makes a cover, 1 count only. So charges in, gets an elbow up, backdrops Aiden out of the corner, and Aiden begs him off, and he goes for a handshake, and Camacho accepts it and kicks him in the midsection. Stomps Mudhole and Aiden, and basically mockingly bows to him. Goes for a backdrop suplex, nails it in a leaping guillotine leg drop. Fireman's carry, and looks like he's going to try to finish him off. It looks like he was going for the Hawaiian Crusher or the TKO, depending on who's calling your match, or the Godsmack if you're a Messiah fan from XPW days. Throw that reference out. I haven't had that in a while. So he's going for the Hawaiian Crusher or the TKO, and I'm guessing that is what he was going for because it looked like that was the setup. And he gets it turned around into the director's cut, which is the Shinanamaki version of Matt Hardy's side effect, and he gets the 3 count. After the match is over, of course, the fans are chanting for an encore, and Aiden says, my performance basically warrants an encore, so he says, how can you bow out when they're begging to see you sing in the WWE? And of course, brava, brava, and everybody does the polite like golf clap for Aiden English, and Regal is bowing to him because he is his man crush. He even drops that on commentary. And they're tossing roses in the ring. I love this gimmick so much. It's so cool. I don't know if it's going to make it to the main roster, but I love this character so far. So we get our next match. Danny Burch in singles action against Mason Ryan, who I think Mason Ryan is probably somebody that I would not have put any stock in because I really didn't like his WWE run. His Nexus stuff wasn't the greatest, but he's improved. And I think that, I know you could compare him to Batista, or if you want to go TNA, you could compare him to Rob Terry. When it comes down to it, Mason Ryan's a lot better than people think he is. I would say that he could be a really good foil for Alexander Rusev if they wanted to go that direction. I think that actually would be a good idea, to be totally honest. But it would make... Ryan's not going to be a heel, not in NXT. And I know he's doing a tag team. This hasn't debuted on television yet, but he's doing a tag team with Jason Jordan. And they actually worked the Ascension the other night. NXT house show. So this hasn't happened on television yet, obviously. Just like the fact that Alexander Rusev is still being led by the yet unnamed Lana, which of course still hasn't got mentioned yet. I think they might have mentioned it in passing today, but that's about it. So Mason Ryan taking on Danny Burch. Whip in, charges in with a back elbow, and a European uppercut from Burch, and Ryan nails him with a shoulder block off the ropes. Ryan gets kicked in the knee to try to stop the momentum momentarily and boots him in the corner. European uppercut by Burch trying to get a nice win, and Ryan ends up headbutting him out of the corner. He picks him up in an over-the-shoulder power slam, and he snake eyes him. That's not even a word, but it sounds right. And instead of dropping him face first across the top turnbuckle, he drops him throat first across the top rope. He walks in a big boot, and he nails the Cobra Clutch Slam for the 1-2-3. Win for Mason Ryan. I said that it'd be a good 4-0 for Alexander Rusev because they kind of match up pretty well. The problem is, like I said, apparently they're going to go with this Mason Ryan, Jason Jordan team to go after the Ascension, so Ryan would match up really well with Connor. He's no longer Connor O'Brien, he's now Connor, so yeah. Victor and Connor. Yeah, that sounds really, really intense right there. Love the new names for the Ascension. So yeah, speaking of that, we find out that next week on NXT, we get the return of your NXT champion, the John Cena of NXT himself, Bo Dallas. Bo's been on a worldwide tour, and obviously he spent time in Bolivia. It's kind of a homecoming for Bo Dallas, and he will return to NXT next week, which I'll be talking about next weekend. So we get our main event. This is 2 out of 3 falls. Former tag team championship partners collide. The man who gravity forgot, Adrian Neville, taking on one of the most miserable men in the business today, the former Sterling James Keenan himself, Corey Graves. This match was good. Very good match, especially when two people know each other so well. Their chemistry really works together to combine to make a really good match. So Corey with a headbutt and a snap suplex out, 1 count only. So scoop slam and drops a fist drop off the ropes, makes a cover, 1 count only. So another snap suplex, but Neville floats over, tries to roll him up from behind, ducks the clothesline, hits 2 flying forearms off the ropes, and the jumping calf kick and spinning back kick, and he locks on an Oklahoma roll, tries to get the pin right there, 1-2, and a kick out. Whip in reverse, tip up, and he goes the opposite corner, leaps over the top rope, high kick to the side of the head, and he plants him with a red arrow, 1, 2, 3, and Neville wins the first fall clean as a sheet. So Corey goes to powder as the bell rings to start the match, for the second fall, obviously. And Neville's like, that ain't happening. And he baseball slide drop kicks his former partner, tosses him back in, he goes up top, excuse me, presumably going for the red arrow again, and of course Graves knows his tag team partner so well, and he rolls over to the opposite corner, so that stops him. So a boot sends Adrian face first to the ring apron, and I'm trying to explain how this works. So he's on the ring apron, he kicks him in the midsection, and he knocks him off the apron, but he falls face first across the apron before he takes the bump to the outside. Toss him back and makes a cover, 1-2, and a kick out. 2 big forearms and rights and chops, drags him in the middle of the ring, and this is the time they take the commercial break. So we go BTLA, back to live action. So stomping and pounding away to the chest, makes a cover, 1-2, and a kick out. Slams his leg into the ring post. Incidentally, while we were on commercial break, apparently the leg was worked on in the match. So it was actually worked on earlier in the match too. So yeah, he was working on the leg, and he's now basically fighting on one leg at this point. You know that old chestnut. So basically, he comes back in and stomps Neville in the corner, locks on a single leg Boston Crab. So he drags him in the middle of the ring, puts on the more pressure, and he rolls through into a Boston Crab of his own, and he flips him out, like, the spinning flip out. Goes for a shin breaker, gets countered into a sunset flip, 1-2, and a kick out. Kicks him off when he's going for Lucky 13, and this time Neville gets stopped with a diving clip to the knee, and this time it's enough because Corey Graves locks on Lucky 13, and Neville fights out, but eventually he just got a tap. So they're even, 1 fall apiece as Corey Graves takes the second fall. So, third fall. Third and deciding fall, where of course this is the rubber fall, because obviously both men have taken a fall. So Graves gets forearmed, and 6 big shoulder blocks in the midsection. I like this spot. He picks him up in a Northern Lights, and he ties his feet up kind of like Indian style, and he looks like he's going to sit out with some, it could be a face buster, could be like a code breaker, it could be a DDT, it could be a bunch of spots, but it's countered when Neville kicks him right in the side of the head. So we'll never find out what that spot was going to be, but it looked awesome. So Graves goes to the floor once again to powder. He comes back in, charges in, and Neville nails him with a back elbow. So he ducks the clothesline, big right hand, and a kick to the knee on Neville, once again momentarily stopping the momentum of his former tag team partner. He goes for the diving clip, but Neville, of course, has it scouted. When he dives in, he gets caught in the face with a front drop kick. 1-2 and a kick out. He goes up top, and he's fighting on one leg, so obviously he slips and falls off the top turnbuckle. Graves locks on Lucky 13, right in the center of the ring, and he can't fight out, and he can't fight out, and he won't give up, and what does he do? He puts his hands on his fists, and he crawls to the bottom rope, and he finally makes it. So, multiple kicks, 5 in succession of the hamstring. He goes for Lucky 13 again. This gets countered into an inside cradle, and that's all she wrote. 1, 2, 3, and Neville wins this match 2-1. So yeah, good final match from NXT this week. Not as good as Sami Zayn and Antonio Cesaro, but those matches were phenomenal. So yeah, that 2 out of 3 falls match, if you have not checked it out yet, check it out on YouTube, Daily Motion, anywhere you have a way to check it out. And I actually have a recap of that. I don't remember what day it was, which NXT video it was, but if you watch any of the NXT and Smackdown videos, and you can maybe you could like team them up with the actual date of the match, and then look at the date that's closest to that in this NXT and SmackDown playlist. I will give you a more than in-depth review and recap of that 2 out of 3 Falls match, just like I did with this match between Neville and Graves. Okay, so this week was kind of there. Storyline progression. We're still building towards the feud that's going to be coming up the pike with the Legionnaires, or Scott Dawson and Sylvester Lefort against Alexander Rusev, and of course Lana's involved in that as well. And apparently Garrett Dillon's coming back to the company after the first of the year, so he'll probably be involved. So D-Squared will probably go after Rusev very soon. Tyler Breeze wasn't on the show, which sucks because Tyler Breeze is awesome. Aiden English, slowly but surely growing on me. I really like this gimmick a lot. Bo Dallas returns to action next week, so that'll be good. And, Mason Ryan, squash match with Danny Burch was alright. So Summer Rae and Sasha Banks have basically converted Charlotte into a heel. So she is now part of the BFFs. And of course, this is going to lead to a 6-diva tag match somewhere down the line. It was okay NXT for what it was. SmackDown. Dear God. Well, first off, again, the SmackDown does not have any What's Best for Business in it. And that's awesome because I'm getting sick of this, obviously, as you guys well know. And again, I understand that a lot of people think that the people that watch Raw don't necessarily watch SmackDown. And I know from a lot of cases that is true. But, I don't want to see a Raw rebound. I don't want to see a promo that was 5 minutes ago. I understand you have to recap that. I get that. I am in recap business. But still, there should not be so little action on a 2-hour broadcast. It's freaking ridiculous. So, we're going to start off the show with Jimmy and Jey Uso against Eric Rowan and Luke Harper of the Wyatt family. There was an extremely bad botch from Eric Rowan in this match. I mean, I was starting to write on this, and I was thinking to myself, this sucks. I'm just going to wait until we go BTLA, and we're going to go home from there. So, Harper goes for the Gator Roll, and he grounds him with like an inverted headlock, locks on a chin lock, and the punch and the elbow out, and an avalanche against the rope sends him down. Slingshot to the middle rope, and he walks over, tags in Eric Rowan. Rowan nails the pump handle backbreaker 1-2 and a kick out. So he tosses him to the ropes, not whip, tosses him to the ropes. He charges in, he catches the boot, spinning enziguri kick by Jimmy Uso, tagging to Luke Harper, tagging to Jey. Jey comes in, clothesline, side kick to the ribs. Uppercut, diving forearm, whip in reverse, goes up top, ducks the clothesline, Samoan drop, charges in for the Rikishi-style butt bump, gets stopped before he can even connect with anything with a big boot from Harper. Jimmy makes a save, so he misses the big boot, he gets crushed on the top rope, they toss him to the floor, Harper tosses him to the floor, and Jey with a super kick, 1-2, and Harper kicks out. So, suicide dive on Rowan. And they do another, he goes for a suicide dive on Harper. Harper catches him with a forearm, comes in, discus lariat, 1-2-3 on Jey Uso. Wyatt family win this match. So Bray is excited and happy and everything. Of course, he's laughing and he gets in the ring. And of course, he gets kicked by Jimmy Uso. And of course, he gets mugged for his troubles. So they go to sacrifice him. Instead of sacrificing him, they just mug him some more. So they pick up Jimmy Uso, Sister Abigail. So Harper takes his head and just like butts him out of the ring. He basically said, "We will teach the world how to leave a scar. We will turn heroes to victims. CM Punk and Daniel Bryan, I advise you, run." Still building towards this match. We're supposedly going to get a Survivor Series next Sunday night. It will be the Wyatt family against Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. The thing about this match is a lot of people said they kind of messed up on this because this should be 6-on-6. This should be the Usos, Goldie? That's funny. This should be the Usos, Cody, and Goldust with Daniel Bryan and CM Punk against the 3 members of the Shield and the 3 members of the Wyatt family. That's what the match should be, but apparently not, so. Whatevs. So, still building towards it. Ryback won't team with Curtis Axel, and if he's still a Paul Heyman guy, he kind of took some offense to the fact that Heyman called him ugly and said he was worthless, and basically said he was useless and everything, and he was nothing but a failure. If you're still sucking up to Paul Heyman, I have a problem with you. Axel says he's not a Paul Heyman guy anymore, he's out on his own, and tonight he vows he's going to take out his frustration on Punk and Bryan, and he says Ryback should do the same. Yeah. So, our next match, Divas action, Natalya against Tamina Snuka. Of course, this was set up on Main Event, which I didn't get a chance to watch, obviously. Natalya had AJ in the sharpshooter. AJ was about to tap out. Tamina super kicks her from behind, and of course, that's the reason why we have this match. So, I do want to talk about AJ for a second here. Apparently, there was a house show at the O2 in London earlier today. Friday. And it was a tag team match with Brie and Nikki Bella against AJ and Tamina. Well, AJ was on the ring apron at one point, and apparently she kind of fell off the apron, and she collapsed. And WWE are spinning it as dehydration. Now, we don't know if this is true or not, but there's a lot of things it could be, and I'm not going to be all about hearsay, so I'm just going to say, until I know something concrete, we're going to go and say it's dehydration, and we'll be good on that. Get well soon, AJ. So, let's get to this match, shall we? Whip in reverse, a back elbow, and Natty charges into a Samoan drop, caught, and falling splash, or a falling headbutt, depending on what she was going for. It misses. She misses the charge, discus clothesline. AJ gets on the ring apron, ends up getting knocked off, goes for a roll-up, gets stopped, locks on the sharpshooter, tap out, match over. No reason to even talk about it further than that. So, the Primetime Players and R-Truth were kind of talking in the back. This was kind of funny. Truth was rapping, Titus was kind of rapping, and for some reason, Darren Young decided he wanted to start singing We Are the World, which is hilarious. His version of We Are the World. They're going to face off against the Union Jacks, which is still a 3-man band in their British attire. So they're going to be the next match of the night. It's R-Truth, Darren Young, and Titus O'Neil, the Primetime Players, taking on the Union Jacks, which I've waited all day to say this. The Union Jacks are Jack McIntyre, Jinder Jack, and my personal favorite, Jack Slater. It's funny to me, okay? Last Action Hero reference for the win. So, high knee by Jinder Mahal makes a cover on Titus, 1-2, and a kick out. Tagging to Heath Slater, he comes in, chin lock, and he rains down the elbows. Makes a cover, 1-2, and a kick out. Okay. I'll give JBL and Michael Cole had a really interesting conversation during this match, and I'll kind of, I'm not going to talk about it like word for word, but I will say kind of like around what they were talking about. Basically, JBL said something about somebody has heat, and Michael Cole was like, what's heat? We're talking about the Miami Heat, and then of course they got into a discussion, and JBL referred to it as inside baseball vernacular. I'm like, really? So yeah, Michael Cole, yeah, that was interesting. So, anyway, the chin lock, he elbows out of it, and it comes off the ropes, big shoulder block by Titus, knocks him halfway across the ring. Tagging the Truth, he comes in, 2 big clotheslines, the split duck the clothesline, high leg lariat, and hat rack crack. McIntyre makes a save on the 3, so they nail the Tiger Bomb on Jinder from Titus, and the gut check on Drew from Darren Young, and the lie detector on Heath Slater, and that's all she wrote. So yeah. After the match, they paraded around the ring with the Union Jack's British flag jackets. Okay. So the next segment was John Cena and Alberto Del Rio in an arm wrestling challenge. I was proud of myself in this. I did not write nearly anything in this because I don't care. Then another arm wrestling challenge. You know something bad's going to happen. Del Rio basically says that he's the greatest, and he's going to beat John Cena on Sunday, and he's going to break Cena's arm again. And Cena's like, no, you're not, because I'm John Cena, and I'm going to beat you, and it doesn't matter, you're not, and so blah, 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 blah. So, he beats him like 2 seconds in an arm wrestling challenge. So Del Rio says, I want a rematch. So Cena wins again. Del Rio cheap shots him, nails Cena with a GSK, and he wraps his arm around the steel chair. He goes like he's going to Pillmanize the arm again. But this time, Cena fights out of it. He escapes, but he gets caught and spine-bustered to the table that was housing the apparatus for the arm wrestling challenge. So yeah, I mean, any of you guys think that Del Rio's winning on Sunday? I got some oceanfront property in Arizona to sell you. So, our next match, Divas Tag Team Action. This is what happens when you split up the roster, folks. It's the Funkadactyls against the Bella Twins. Okay. Nikki nails an Alabama slam on Cameron. And a nice... She looked like she was going for a hammerlock fall-away slam, but ends up just doing a front slam anyway. 1-2 and a kick out. Whip-in charge, and she gets the boot up. Middle rope flying body press by Cameron. 1-2 and a kick out. Tagging Naomi, so she gets in the ring. And they both nail a split drop. One on the chest, one on the legs. Pretty much just making sure Nikki can't go anywhere. So Brie gets tagged in. Clothesline, 2 drop kicks, and comes off the middle rope with a missile drop kick. 1-2 and a kick out. So, this actually looked really good. She floats over. She goes for a wheelbarrow. It gets countered into a cutter or an ace crusher, depending on who's calling her match, by Naomi. 1-2 and a kick out. She sets up for the Bella Factor. She gets shoved off and rear view by Naomi. 1-2-3. Crowd didn't really want to go for this match at all. It's kind of just there. Not really much to talk about in this match. It was kind of there, like a lot of things on this show. Speaking of things that were just there, that shouldn't have been. Remember I said the Camacho was going to come back? He's here, and he brought Unico with him. You know, Unico is done with Sin Cara duty, and he's back to being himself. And Unico, if I remember correctly, was my Royal Rumble pick for the SNS Royal Rumble that I obviously lost hardcore because I randomly chose Unico. So, this is a handicap match against the Great Khali. I need this about as much as I need these iOS 7 problems. And waiting 7 hours to upload a video. Which, by the way, is 22 minutes before the video from Friday will finally be processed. As of this moment. You know the Khali matches. You can call them in your sleep. Overhand chop on Camacho. Camacho kicks him in the knee. And, of course, tags in Unico. Unico comes in and tries to whip Camacho in. And he does whip him in, but he whips him into the back elbow of Khali. He charges in himself because he's dumb, and he gets a big boot from Khali, and Khali nails the clothesline on both of them, and the brain chop on Camacho. Picks up Unico and nails him with the Punjabi plunge, and that's the end. I don't want to talk about this at all. I don't want to see Khali on television ever again. I will say right now, Khali hawking merchandise, that was funny, but don't have him wrestle. For people that think that bigger is better, they are wrong. They are dead wrong. Let's talk about our main event, shall we? CM Punk and Daniel Bryan taking on Curtis Axel and Ryback. Once again, the Intercontinental Championship still not defended. So, I'm kind of torn. Do you take the title off Axel and give it more prestige? Or do you and then take away the only thing Axel has? Or do you keep the belt on him for a long time and just continue with business as usual? It's time to take the belt off. So, I was like, we got 10 minutes left. I was going to wait till the final commercial break for SmackDown before I started talking about this match. And I was like, yeah, it's going to go a bit. It was like 20 minutes. And it was like the ring introductions. Then Bryan came out. Then Punk came out. Well, Punk came out, then Bryan came out. And then they brought out Axel, and then Axel, of course, got stopped and brought out Ryback. So, didn't take as long as it could have. So, Axel whips in, charges in, and Punk gets the boot up. So, he springboards to the middle rope, going for the 180 fine body press, but he gets crotched, tagging a Ryback. Ryback nails a hanging vertical suplex 1-2 and a kick out, leaping guillotine leg drop, 1-2 and a kick out, tag back into Curtis Axel. He hits the somersault neck snap out of the corner, 1-2, Punk kicks away. So Axel tries to capitalize, Punk locks in an inside cradle, 1-2 and a kick out. So Axel with a big snap clothesline takes him down, 1-2 and a kick out. So he rams his forearm against the side of the face and he pulls up on the armbar, like he's been using that a lot lately. Knee in the midsection, and of course, for good measure, he knocks Bryan off the apron, because obviously Punk needs to get the tag at this point. So he drop kicks Punk, 1-2 and a kick out. He locks in a chin lock, he knees out of it, and he tags in Ryback. So he goes to tag in Ryback, and Ryback ends up getting knocked off the ring apron inadvertently by Curtis Axel. Spinning neckbreaker on Axel, and tagging to Bryan. Bryan ducked the clothesline, and whip in, reverse, backflip, lands on his feet, comes off the ropes, ducks the opponent's clothesline, nails the hooking clothesline, nails the charging drop kick in the corner, and for good measure, drop kicks Axel off the ring apron. I don't even need instructions for this one. So, Punk clotheslines Axel over the top rope to the floor. Bryan with yes kicks on Ryback, nails the buzzsaw this time. So, Axel tries to make the save. Punk knocks him over the top to the floor. Again, sorry about that. I was kind of reading it against myself. Bryan gets caught, sunset flip into the yes lock. Ryback's about to tap, wide interruption, and when the lights come back on, Punk and Bryan are nowhere to be found, and Rowan and Harper are in the ring. So, this is funny, actually. Axel helps Ryback up, who's down and out from the yes lock. Ryback shoves Axel into Luke Harper. Prey yells no mercy, and they just mug Curtis Axel. So they pound the daylights out of him, and Harper with the gator roll, and they pound Axel, and they whip him into Rowan's avalanche, and they whip into the big boot from Harper. So Axel's down and out, and then Ryback gets the big boot from Harper, and they toss Ryback to the floor like a sack of potatoes. Bray kicks Axel, and he kicks Ryback as well. Punk and Bryan run to the ring the whole time. They emerge from under the ring. Bryan drop kicks Rowan in the back of the knee, and Punk nails the high kick on Luke Harper. It might be flipped. I think it might have been flipped, actually. And they cause the... they powder to the floor. Actually, they live again to fight another day, so that's the end of the show. This did nothing to make me want to buy Survivor Series. I'm not going to anyway. But, and I'm not going to watch Survivor Series until the Monday after the fact anyway, because it's the WWE Stay Alive podcast, as you guys well know. So, what did Raw SmackDown do tonight? Know what's best for business. That's great. Hopefully that continues this week on Raw. Really awkward opening match with the Usos and Rowan and Harper. It got going at the end, but the opening was just really out there. Not good at all. Curtis Axel and Ryback are both not on Paul Heyman's side anymore. So, of course, this is going to lead to apparently what the internet's talking about with Axel. He'll probably drop the Intercontinental title soon anyway, hopefully. And I'm an Axel supporter, but, I mean, he needs to drop the title if they're not going to do anything with it. Ryback will probably go babyface, and he'll face off against Brock Lesnar when Lesnar comes back. That's supposed to happen around the Rumble. I'll believe it when I see it. Natty taps out Tamina Snuka, and she's still in a collision course with AJ. Union Jacks probably go back to be three-man band, if I had to guess. John Cena and Del Rio, arm wrestling challenge, beat him twice. Del Rio tries to Pillmanize the arm, and Cena gets the upper hand, gets spinebuster through a table. So the Funkin' Axels win a tag match. Really interesting. And Kali wins a very unneeded squash match against Unico and Camacho. And Punk and Bryan have an okay match with Curtis Axel and Ryback. So yeah, SmackDown was kind of meh tonight. So yeah, it's always that. So wrestling fans will talk again on, looks like it's going to be Monday and Tuesday, because we're going to talk about Impact on Monday and we'll talk about Raw on Tuesday. So wrestling fans will join me for that. AJ's movie review, by the time this video will be out in a couple of hours, and I mean a couple, I mean like 4 or 5. AJ's movie review this week is going to be talking about, like I said, The Best Man Holiday, The Starving Games, and Mr. Nobody versus coming out tomorrow, which cryptic comment is Sickness. And we have a lot of really awesome stuff still to come this week and for the rest of the month and the rest of the year. So a lot of stuff still to come. So in the meantime, if you like these videos, tell your friends about them. Leave a comment. Do subscribe. And tell your friends about Pop and spread the word about this Popcaster revolution. If you want to get a hold of me, there's 3 simple ways to do it. Numero uno. If you want to tweet me, you can. It's at SirOwenDisney. Very simple to find. Very simple. I will chat with you guys. I will not have a problem with that. And if you want to throw your comments, queries, and opinions, you can email me that way. It's SirOwenDisney@gmail.com. Or finally, if you want to be my friend on Facebook, I'll accept that. It's Owen Disney on Facebook. In the meantime, thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And sorry about the uploading issues we've had lately. But like I said, just bear with me. We still have amazing content. You just might have to wait several hours for it. So in the meantime, thank you guys and girls out there for watching. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all I got to say about that.